Welcome back, rookies. In our last video, we talked about preparing to go storm chase mentally. Today, we're going to get a little more practical. We're going to talk about the tools and gear that I think is necessary or optional. We are also going to chat a little bit about transportation. All right, let's talk transportation first. I'm assuming the majority of you will be using a vehicle to go storm chasing. If you're using a bicycle, I have no experience doing that. I will never do it. Good luck. To those of you chasing in your car or truck or SUV, let's discuss. The majority of the time when I go out to see what the clouds are doing, there is a lot of driving. You have to drive to the location, you have to drive along the storm, then you need to drive home. The miles add up quickly. To me, that doesn't matter. Cars are for driving. Now, I'm not a car expert. I will never, ever give you advice on car mechanical or maintenance things. Anytime you drive a car, there's a risk of something breaking. How you manage those risks is up to you. For me, that means I maintain good tire pressure, I do oil changes, and if there's anything weird that comes up, we're addressing it. My mindset with gas is simple. Fill it up. If I'm stopping to go to the bathroom, I might as well top off the gas tank. If I'm getting close to focusing on storm chasing, we're gonna fill up the gas tank. If I'm out in the middle of nowhere and there's a gas station, I'm probably getting gas. Related to transportation, let's talk snacks. If you're gonna be driving hundreds of miles, you probably wanna bring your favorite road trip snacks. For years, I was a devoted Twizzlers fan. Now, I'm more of a beef jerky or beef sticks kind of girl. If I find a Quick Trip with a K, we are stopping. You can find them in Wisconsin, Minnesota. I think they've spread into a few more states. But for me, they're my favorite gas stations. And my favorite thing to get there, cheesy breadsticks. Yes, I'm a Wisconsin girl who loves her Quick Trip. For me, a very important aspect of spending any time in the car, and let's be real, it's a bit of a necessity, is an awesome playlist. Before any road trip, I love to make a new playlist of the songs that are my current favorites. I love all types of music, but I tend to lean towards a few favorites, including Judah and the Lion and Need to Breathe. Tell you what, why don't you drop your current favorite song in the comments and maybe I'll add it to this year's playlist. Next, let's talk gear or tools. Long story short, I use my iPhone. For navigation and maps, I use Apple Maps or Google Maps, whichever I feel like. When I'm close to a storm, navigating by myself can be tough. I generally put a town in the direction I'm heading in as I follow along with the storm. I look at the map to get a general sense of roads before starting to drive around. I have a really good sense of direction. Thanks, Dad. But I also try to keep in the back of my mind how I would get out of the situation if the storm got too close or if things just got messy. It is not easy, and I feel like I have a lot to learn in this area. I have a guideline for myself. No driving on dirt roads when there's rain. I originally had no dirt roads is the rule, but I broke it in New Mexico last summer. So I changed the rule. They're my rules. I will not drive in muddy roads. I won't get stuck on a muddy road, especially since I chase by myself. It's just not worth it. I drive a Chevy Cruze, so the chances of me getting stuck, I feel like, are a little high. You do what you want to do. I'm not driving on muddy dirt roads. In a future video, I am planning to talk about forecasting and the little bit that I know about satellite and radar. I am still learning. It's part of the reason I started this channel. In the meantime, there are some great resources if you want to learn more about forecasting and satellite and radar and soundings and other smart stuff. I would recommend checking out Tornado Titans. They have a lot of great videos. I've watched a bunch of them to help me learn. And if you really want to nerd out, go watch Convective Chronicles, and he does these great forecast discussions, and I understand about 10% of what he's saying. I'll share the links in the description. I will say radar is very important. I use RadarScope. I'm not going to get in some discussion about which one is the best, which one you should use. On my first storm chasing tour, people on the tour were using RadarScope, so I also downloaded RadarScope. Now that I'm familiar with it, I don't plan on switching. Radar helps you see what area you should be going to once storms are already formed. Wouldn't be impossible to chase without radar. I mean, they did it back in the day before there were cell phones. Maybe, one day I'll challenge myself to chase without radar. If I do, you will be the first to know. One quick note about radar. When my phone is struggling for service, it can sometimes not be able to refresh the radar data. I could be looking at old information. RadarScope has it in the bottom corner where you can look and see if it's old data or not. I would just be mindful of this. Check your apps, see if they provide that information for you. We always want to be looking at the most up-to-date information we can when we're near storms. All right, one last piece of gear to talk about. Technically, it's optional, a camera. I bring my DSLR with me almost every time I chase. I might leave it at home if I'm chasing locally or it's a very last minute chase, but most times I have it with me. Photography is my passion, and it's hard to leave my camera behind. If I don't have my DSLR camera with me, I have my iPhone. iPhones take great pictures and videos. For me, it would be really hard to not capture what I'm seeing, even though technically you can go storm chasing and not capture anything. Another optional part is posting on social media. I usually do, but I'll leave that up to you to decide if you're going to post or not post about your chases. There you have it, folks. We chatted about transportation, including my love of Quick Trip, and then we talked about the gear that I think is necessary for storm chasing, including an awesome playlist, my camera, radar, snacks? Yep, road trip snacks. Thanks for joining me. Remember, everyone was a rookie once. See you next time.